What's going on? Why do I have to do the same thing every day? Is this a simulation? Am I going crazy? Was that guy on TikTok right about everything? It's flat. Shh. Come on, baby boy, baby girl. Shh. Stop all that yapping. You are dreaming. But it's time to wake up, right? That's what they say in all the videos. Life is a simulation. And that's a easy, simple message to sell, easy to profit off of, easy to say, oh, I guess I know what's going on now, but you don't know nothing. The devil's in the details your pastor told you not to look at. Your favorite politician told you not to worry about. It's in those esoteric occult places where there is a specific, highly detailed science and models describing the nature of reality to the initiated. So in this video, I'll attempt to get you initiated, but it's not without a sacrifice. Life is not a simulation. Okay, mystical man. What schematics, what complex occult yabbity-doobity-doo details are you talking about? What sacrifice? Are you in the Illuminati, man? Are you a satanist? No, none of that. Just a scientist who knows how to look at information and draw conclusions. And one rich source of information revered by millions of people and cultivated for thousands of years are the 10 Sephirot, the tree of life. This model forms the basis of many Western hermetic occult traditions. You could call it witchcraft if you'd like, because a lot of the things we do now were once considered witchcraft. Do you believe in God? Do you believe you're a good person? Do you believe He guides you in all things you do? Or have you hooked on to some popular belief because you think it'll give you salvation? Because that's what you must sacrifice now. And so we are here. The 10 Sephirot, which describes the structure of reality where the so-called simulation is only a small aspect. Now, I'm not a professional. There are a lot of academics who know much more about the 10 Sephirot than I do, but my basic understanding of it is that Keter, which you see here at the top, is the source energy, and for all intents and purposes, the energy of God, and that flows down to lower planes until it finally reaches its densest forms in Yesod and Malkut, which are the lower planes, the physical plane, realm of the living we live in, and then on the other side of Malkut, the underworld, also known as Klipoth. Now you'll notice the source energy immediately splits into two, Bina and Hakma, and that delineation of two is the basis of the simulation. Another thing to take notice of is the cube. If you look at the way these ley lines kind of intersect, you'll notice there's a cube in there. This is another ancient symbol used to describe and depict the matrix. There's the black cube in Mecca. There's the understanding of Saturn as the cube. There's the cross of the crucifixion, which is nothing more than an unfolded cube. There's also the flower of life, which has a cube in its geometry. And then there's the simple fact that the cube represents all dimensions feasible in our plane. X-axis, Y-axis, and the Z-axis. It's what keeps you up at night, what drives you crazy, what may seem off to you about this life. These decisions, these binary decisions, Shall I or shall I not? Up or down, left or right, boy or girl, right, red, blue, black, white. It's the predictable nature of this place. And it is the ultimate restriction within the cube. You only have two options. And that binary is how simulations are actually made in computers. You want to play GTA? It's a series of ones and zeros. This world, the light frequencies that come into your brain, that process into this image before you, ones and zeros. But what's more? What's more is why I say this place is not a simulation, and that quote-unquote simulation is simply an illusion and a confinement made by our own minds. And our physicists of modernity already know this. What if a computer didn't have to run on binary? Well, then you have a supercomputer bridging into the supernatural. A qubit is a very difficult thing to understand, and it's by nature not the most logical thing. A qubit is simultaneously a 1 and a 0 at the same time. It's simply a probability of whether it's a 1 or a 0. Now, I know I'm kind of butchering that explanation, but you think about that and you say, I don't know, that doesn't make that much sense to me. How does a computer run off of it? Shit, I don't know. When you look at the metaphysical plane, things stop following binary rules at a point. And in order to gain greater understanding of the world around us, we're now forced to let go of what we already knew and shed the cube. And this is the kind of teachings you'll see in all these sacred traditions of Buddha and Jesus, and here in the Torah, is that there is a way to rise above the cube. Think I'm messing around? You think that Christianity and Western hermetic occult traditions are that different? I'm going to show you that they're not. You can roughly overlay the 7 chakras of ancient Hindu Indian traditions, which also describe a pattern of ascension out of the cycle of reincarnation, which for all intents and purposes is another model for the matrix or the simulation. You have Jesus talking about salvation and going to heaven, which for all intents and purposes is escaping the matrix, right? What happens to him? He dies, he sheds the worldly body, right? And he leaves this plane. However, I don't think you have to die in order to do that. In fact, all these very teachers I speak of reach an ascended state of mind and are able to bridge the gap between the realm of binary and beyond on a regular basis. All of them are able to perform feats of mysticism. Now, some people might argue, oh, these are all metaphorical. The reason I don't think that's the case is because of how often it appears and how serious it's taken. And also the fact that these things by their nature cannot be done for show, because once it becomes vanity, it is now a matter of the simulation. That is a egoistic aim and intention which inhibits the power.
I am the octopus.
They speak on prayer, they speak on meditation, they speak on fasting, which all done for extended periods are documented to produce transcendent states. I mean, you've been in these transcendent states yourself. Moments of extreme happiness, like a child is born, or you feel the deepest connection with a partner of yours. I myself having dreams so weird that I can't even describe to you what happened. The very now coming into pop culture understanding of psychedelic states, where people will commonly say, "Oh yeah, dude, I did DMT and I freaking became one with everything." And you hear Joe Rogan say it so much that you don't take it seriously after a while. But what is the message in there? Become one, relinquish the duality. And this goes back to all of these schemes I'm talking about. Even the cross, what is the cross? It's the unfolding of the cube. The cube is opened and expanded into something more. The cross being a schematic that roughly also in shape mirrors the 10 Sephirot, mirrors the 7 chakras, also mirrors another occult symbol, which is the pentagram. The pentagram being, once again, I say, there's nothing new here. There's nothing new here under the sun. We just have to not be afraid to look at things that people call strange or taboo or write off. The pentagram describes reality as 5 elements: earth, wind, fire, air, and then at the very top, the spirit. So what do you notice about the spirit is it's separate from all those lower aspects, the worldly things, earth, wind, fire, air. The spirit is above and it is outside of that. Notice how there are 4 elements, like the 4 sides of the square, like the 4 dimensions of the cube, like the 12 months, which is a multiple of 4, the 12 disciples, a multiple of 4. But you might be thinking now, you're not convincing me that there's not a simulation. You're just pointing to every reason why there is one. The simulation is within the infinite. Therefore, it is part of the infinite, and therefore there is no simulation. If you look at the cross, it is an unfolded cube. So when you enclose the expanded form, which represents ascension, you get the matrix. They're one and the same. And that means to me that the simulation is not this thing to be written off. It is the process by which we learn and develop in order to escape the cycles of suffering, the reincarnation cycle. And therefore it is just as significant as the places beyond. It's all part of the same system. It's in the tree of life. So there is no simulation to me. There's only the process of realizing our full potential. And the only thing holding us back would be maybe wasting time in a real simulation, like, playing video games. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with video games. A lot of great art is created in the form of video games. You know what I'm saying? Everything in moderation. Tapping out, coping, submitting to the devil and the lower planes of instant gratification. In the last video, we talked about the golem and the lower self that keeps us chained to the realm of duality. And the devil is a sneaky little trickster. Everything that God has, the devil and humanity full of hubris, aligned with the devil, tries to create their own version of it. The abomination. There is the upright pentagram. There's also the inverted pentagram representing, the Church of Satan, the Baphomet. There's the upright cross, and then there's the upside down cross. There's the 10 Sephirot, tree of life, and then there's Clipoth, the tree of death. And so even in conversations of things that are higher, they are still an inversion representing the duality, which is why I say the duality is not necessarily a restriction, but through understanding of it, it can actually be the freedom. A great example is how humanity is trying to expand and ascend with transhumanism. In the early 2000s, this theme became really prominent, and sometimes throughout the 20th century as well, but certainly very much so now, combining with machines, AI, VR, the internet. I mean, if you would like to live in the realm of duality and that's all that matters then to you, why not just get on VR and put your brain into a computer like Sword Art Online or something and just dance around with your anime waifu harem? I think that would be an enjoyable experience, but it is taking the plane of duality to an extreme. Why not do that if there's nothing more than this? There being another way is the only deterrent from humanity falling into the anti-singularity, which is descension disguised as an ascension. They'll sell it to you as humanity progressing, but it's actually humanity falling deeper into the devil's hands, into the lower self. Now there's more urgency for me to think about things like these and make videos like these, because there's going to come a point in the near future where you're not going to have where you're going to have to make a choice, and the duality will be right before you. Are you going to join the system and this weird artificial intelligence hive mind, or are you going to join the singularity of God and the universal consciousness, whatever that means? It's illogical by its nature, so I can't tell you. It is beyond the binary. And so that's my spiel. If you resonated with this video at all, or you found anything interesting here, like and subscribe or whatever. Check out my other videos or whatever. You can follow me on Instagram, link in the description. Okay.